my properties of a vertical launch that whatever I start with, I'm going to end with. So my Vy0 is going to be the same as my Vy. Okay, the speed that I launch with is going to be the same as that I land with. How do I find my initial velocities? That's the first question, okay? So now we're going to go back and revisit our right triangle trig. I have Vr and I have theta. Okay, so I want to find my Vx initial and my Vy initial, the component vectors of my launch velocity. To find that, we know this is the adjacent side to the angle. So to find Vxo, I'm going to use the cosine. And to find Vyo, I'm going to use the sine function. Remember, Vo and Vr are the same thing. So my Vxo is going to be 15 times the cosine of 32. And my Vy0 is going to be 15 times the sine of 32. Type that in your calculator to get your values. You get 12.7 and 7.95. We're just going to round to 3 sig figs for both of them, just for fun. Okay. Once I get my individual components, now I can start looking for other things. Okay. The reason why you needed to find the vertical component of the velocity is to find the time. Remember, we said we're going to use equation 3 to find the time, which is this one. Now, there's two ways that you can solve for t. You can use your knowledge of, oh, at the maximum height, the velocity is 0, so I can plug 0 in here, Vyo, -10, and find t. But if you do that, you must double the time, because that will only give you the time of the halfway point, right? Ymax is at halfway. Okay, I like to use my properties of a vertical launch and say, well, if it took 7.95 on the way up, that was my launch velocity, I know it's going to land with a negative 7.95 meters per second once it reaches the ground. Okay, launch velocity and landing velocity are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Okay, so combine divide Once you get to that point, now we can solve for what's actually being asked for in the problem, which is your delta x. And we have that one very fancy equation, the only equation for the x direction. And remember to make sure you plug in the correct values. Remember to look at your the ones that you solved for and check to make sure you label everything. Don't forget to label. You cannot mix and match x and y direction. That is no good. Okay? So there you have it. You have solved for how far away does it land, the range of the projectile.